Okay, for MES, that was a awesome live stream yesterday, Saturday, for how many hours you were up there doing that? Wow. Appreciate it. It's really cool, and I got to say a few words at the end. I'm sorry I was late. I had to, somebody came around and kind of thing. So anyway, June 8th, we'll be with you live stream. Good points were brought up. Mr. Loveless is his name. I don't know who he is, but I did send him some links to stuff that happened. So skeptical. I'm skeptical too. And I ask a lot of questions. Okay. Like John Searle and others, Pantone, and many others that were characters on the internet doing things, big claims, blah blah blah. But the main topic seemed to be, in part, the iron block. And the iron block, I forgot to mention too, I just remembered this, and I think Nancy might have found it too. It seemed to be a fine metallic mist that was being emanated off of it too. Whatever that means, I don't know. It's happened before, a long time ago in the 80s as well. Part of the shaft was totally disintegrated. A lot of the tests were also done at not the University of British Columbia, but I got those papers somewhere. Maybe it was the University of British Columbia, for Alex Pizarro on a metal shaft that turned funny and went crumbling at the very end of it. It's a 3-incher or 2 and a 3. I don't know how wide it was, but that was sold to a gentleman in overseas. I think Robert Greener did a test on the end of it. I think, but there was like, maybe I have sold off and given away maybe probably close to 800 metal samples, I think. Ken Shoulders bought some a long time ago in person. I gave away a lot of samples to many other people and sold lots of them. Most recent was I gave my doctor a sample and dentist samples too, and the only samples I have left that I found just recently in a gun crate. Okay, like something like this. That's for sale. That's aluminium. It's like gooey candy almost. Pair of vice grips. And it's totally messed up. That was done in the 80s, I think. But they were in a gun crate, why they were, and I kind of got worried over it. And I don't remember. A lot of the samples I don't remember even, you know, they piled up. But, what else do we have? Parts of the vice grips. And anything else in here? Oh, this was, these curled up. They were part of something that was made that way with all these straight out. Okay. That just curled up. Anything else in here? I think, and also recent sales to Australia of samples. I think there were 3 of them. That was just the other day. So they're all gone. Dennis Kucinich had a huge amount I sent to him to his address in Washington, D.C. You might want to try and contact him if the iron block, if it's still an issue, is in that group. I don't know. I don't remember. I have given them away to many people in Hollywood land, scientists, Rauscher. How many scientists do I know? Maybe several hundred. Tiller, Andrea Sakharov, Tom Beard, and Mark A. Solis, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. However, I was pretty active in 2000 on up to 2008. Even a person was affected by it, the field effects, who filmed the effects, who recently visited me here. And he filmed everything in here for the fun of it. Toot, toot, the train's coming. So, my metal weirdness ended 2008, 2007, or something like that. Because the effects were affecting, I'll let the train pass, these effects seem to be very far spread. It affected people's property in their homes and apartments. And I got to be talk of the town, asked Dr. Daniela in New Westminster, asked the mayor, Mayor M. Wright. He ordered for me to shut everything down. There was a TV show on what was going on. One of the tenants explained that her ornament dissolved. To send everybody the link to that. You see how kind of weird and dangerous that could be? And it concerns me a lot too. Okay? I'm very hesitant at even trying that area again, but I don't know if it's important or not. But I have here my Spencer carbine that I bought from Mr. McFarlane, RCMP ex-retired cop, and his friend in Canada. This I bought for a good price. This is what I mentioned before. If I seen this, I would not have bought it. I'll try and get a good image of it. That stands out pretty strong in this whole piece here, so I can't tell you, I don't know. But this happened, and you'd feel it too. I mean, this is a very valuable rifle, for Pete's sake, used in the Civil War, and it prompted me to check all my firearms. And that's how I found these things. I got my collection goes back to when I was a kid. But this is a rare piece, and to have that happen is very disturbing. Now I can say, well, maybe it was crystallization or something that happened here. I don't know. I'm not a metallurgist, really. I'm not a scientist, I'm not an inventor or any of that stuff, but yeah, it was kind of disturbing. The other firearms, nothing. They seem to be all okay, thank God. Doing these things with metal concerns me because it could hit into something very valuable or something very important. This is a metal frame building, so I don't know what will happen. Have I been in metal frame buildings before? Big warehouses with the U.S. Army Intelligence Security folks in Los Alamos. Now, that was, I think it was partly metal, as I remember. Inside was wooden structures. But they all recorded that stuff there. And we had a molybdenum bar with a slight S-curve in it, Colonel Alexander's sample. I guess he gave that to George Hathaway. I don't remember, but there was other samples slightly affected as well. There were some crashing sounds in that building. A hand-drawn plow was pushed over and it went down with a huge crash. A few other things. Then with the Canadian government folks, Deputy Prime Minister Eric Nielsen ordered in Canadian security folks, Technical Intelligence Agency with Dr. Lauren Kuhn as the director, they spent a day and there was crashing sounds as well. I think it was a chunk of metal, but they record everything okay, and I can't get a copy of the video because it's a matter of national security, according to Chuck Cook, my member of parliament at the time. I wrote a number of letters, but they wrote back suggesting I do certain things to improve the effects. Dr. Kuhn did. Also, others from that department had a lot of fun there and suggested certain things for me too. What other governments? There was McDonnell Douglas with Jack Houck, who did a 2-day film shoot. We caught floating objects, floating milk crates, kind of like moving along the floor. If you should gotta get the video and you speed it all up and you see all the effects happening, because they're slow. At that time, they were quite slow effects in that. So, and there's many others. Dr. Ludwig and dozens of other maybe a couple of hundred, I suppose, filmed in there and got something on camera. And with Rob Simone, we got a long levitation effect. And it was 15 minutes floating in the air, and then it fell down on the floor. Then the film team directed me, which I filmed them, directing me to put it back in the same location area, and which I did do, and I got to send you a link. I sent everybody a link on that one too. Okay, so it's good to be a very Mr. Loveless, who I've written and sent links to, by the way. It's good to ask questions and suggest it could be this and that. I do the same thing, actually. Like, I know the World Trade stuff was a gravity collapse. Seen a gravity collapse with Second Isles Bridge. When it was being built, it was almost finished and it fell down. But anyway, I've seen the beams and stuff that were just wrapped up, like same as World Trade, you know, whatever. But the most badass scoundrel is the Murray guy. Mr. Murray. Suggesting I use strings, taking my videos and putting his own, you know, what would he do with it? Takes the audio out of them. It's just for views, that's what happens, you know. I normally get a lot of interesting comments, but, you know, you're looking at a guy, me, cross-dressing and acting silly most of the time. Who would take me serious, you know? I'm just who I am, so there you have it. But it's good to be, you know, look at me in drag and then look at the videos. Well, gee, who is this crazy person, right? Right. Understand fully, Mr. Lovelace. Thanks for being brave and coming on for MES live stream. Most appreciated. It's inspired him as well as my wife Nancy to give to Matt her analysis of the block of metal thing. I know it's the other videos, the older ones, are really scratchy and rough looking. That's because of camera, actually, technology. And what I filmed in '89 is horrific. I had a camera. Several hours I filmed in another place. Metal things flying around and melting and flying away. But it's black and white and it's horrific. It's on her website, Nancy Lazar, on YouTube channel. She uploaded a lot of stuff, and Ken Shoulders interviews. Oh, wow. So, that's interesting. If you, maybe you're a metallurgist, you seem to know a lot about metals, maybe you can help me with this guy. But I don't know. Has this ever happened to Spencer Carbine before? Try and get a close in on it. That's the only vintage firearm I found that was seemed to be affected by the age effect. I had them stored in the apartment in a safe location, I thought, but it's the only one I found. I mean, I had, as I said, huge amounts of these things. That I collected ever since I was a kid, and even up in present times. So I'm a collector of many things. I like vintage stuff, old stuff, you know, it's kind of cool. I've been working for the last couple of years getting all this ready here to produce those energy effects. Lots to do with electrostatic high potentials, pulsating, alternating current magnetic fields. Also, what interested Dr. Kuhn and his group was my radioactive source. They seemed to know how the effects were happening. You might have to go to slideshare.net and look up the drawings I have of my radioactive source with a magnetron aimed at it, at that unit, and magnetic fields. I've always had a radioactive source in all these experiments, so I can get something on eBay, no problem, to the low-level radiation and build around it with my stuff again, with a spiral spark gap. Hold that a minute. I gotta just do something. Let's put this down. Yeah, a spiral spark gap. Be right back. I'm not gonna stop the video. I'm just gonna do something. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. The first scientists I met were Mel Ernest Winfield and his group, and Dr. Andrew Sakharov, who showed me a bar that was crystallized and broke off apart. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that. I haven't yet. I should look it up sometime. At my parents' house. That's where I met Alex Cazzaro later on, at my parents' house. Wow, that's a long time. Jesus, this has been going on a long time. But I had a lot of adventures, a lot of good things, met a lot of good people. A lot of fun, and always collecting things and basically that's what I do, is vintage Navy and military stuff, and machine tools and parts and pieces from that time frame. You see up here all this stuff. It's like interest in restoration of them, as well as understanding and studying them. Here comes the foreman. Hi, EVO. So the places I patronize, like Fair Radio Sales in Lima, Ohio, scrapyards around the planet, even Germany. It's the alt metal place, they called it. But when in Germany, I had a huge collection of vintage pistols and stuff that required documentation, which was filled out. I have all those papers. Firearms unloaded, stamped by the German police. I went through the ATF and they approved everything. So far, blah, 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 blah. I still have those things. 22 ACP. Oh, little fella. A 25 ACP. Two of those. And 22 revolver found in an attic in an abandoned house in Germany. So that was kind of funny. Kind of funny experience. I had to pack them all in my pockets. So I was armed and not dangerous, I guess you'd say. Then fill out the paperwork later on and went to Dietmar Frenzel's place all the time. On Karlsplatz. I worked on 4 warships. My job was only artillery and electronics, which a lot of it went up in my place, and I still have it here, some of it here. But after the mayor of New Westminster, I sold a lot to Germany. I think it was 9 tons, which I regret, getting rid of this stuff. Really regret it. Ouch. Then I traveled with Nancy to the Gulf of Mexico, and we did our unique testing and wide band VLF and narrow band stuff that hits the water. You can look up VLF and cosmic rays. There was a news report sent out some years ago on that, but how they affect the cosmic rays. So I work with VLF for quite a bit. And not by so much I use in the H effect, a lot of things. Probably too long to mention here, but okay, so in the Gulf of Mexico we were monitored by scientists, and they did analysis on metal samples as well. Go to SlideShare, John K. Hutchison, and see all the testing they did. We were supported by friends of the Navy, in the Navy Department, and actresses. Koryanka Kelcher, who played Pocahontas. Richard Heaney, fame in his balloon episode a long time ago. It's all on video. Everything's videotaped, by the way, and documented by letters, and reports. It's thousands of reports, but anyway. But back to the original topic, being skeptical is a good idea. I am too. I'm very analytical in my approach to things and very open and friendly. A lot of support in the scrapyard down in Petaluma and Santa Rosa. And Fair Radio Sales in Ohio. Several pallets came here loaded with equipment. So the main thing is getting equipment here. Still need a lot of it to get things rolling. But I know you, both of you, were doing a lot of research for the live stream, and appreciate it. Oh, wow. So my poor old Spencer carbine. You know, it's well wrapped up too. And what I do is puts Vaseline all over them and put them in several green garbage bags kind of thing and wrap it all up and put it in a crate. I can momentarily, I think, show you the room, I suppose, if I don't get unplugged on this ridiculous iPad. It has a habit of unplugging, you know. Anyway. Okay, let's see. We'll get up now, I guess. I hope. Oh, something's pulling your... Get off there. Get off there. Pulling cords and things to keep the iPad running. I have a new one. But set it up, I'm not really into setting up. I'm not into computer stuff. Okay, so... You might be able to see a bluish kind of crate. Several of those. All those crates are full. I use those crates in the apartment and sleep on them. Oh yeah, getting them through customs was cool. FBI and ATF were quite helpful. And going through that was quite a bear. Everybody loves a cannon, right? And these are full. Okay, so I did the USS Hutchison effect video for friends back east. Fair radio sales people were going out of business. Did a long video on it and progress report and all that stuff. So. That's the armory, I call it. But let's sit down here. Okay. But that was a good live stream. It's fun being involved with those. I've done a couple, I think. Well, it can be a lot different than what NASA's doing. It was really invigorating. He spent, what, 5 hours doing it? That's impressive. The longest interview I did was, a lot of them, actually. Usually a film crew takes a day, 2 days, and 3 days, sometimes many weeks. Like, I did the Ark of the Covenant. How many shows? Yeah, 300, over 300. About 1,000 radio shows over the years. My first appearance was Vancouver Sun, CBC Canada when I was a kid, on my balloon episode, and then later on many other videos. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, again, my opinion on the World Trade stuff is that gravity collapse caused by fire. And that's all there is to it. There's no death rays and all that stuff. It's just media stuff. I think people can't accept it, but it was in disbelief that day. I was laying down sleeping in. One of my girlfriends from Texas called me and said, "U.S. is under attack, the U.S. is under attack." And then another lady in the apartment complex phoned me too, and that's when I got out of bed and turned on my tiny TV set I had and saw what was going on. I said, "Holy, the Pentagon! Wow!" That's how I connected by phoning directly there and connecting with Major Peter, not Peter, but with one of the people, and I wanted to write a card to Julie, Grant Windsor was his name I contacted, and I have his contact information to this day. Major General Grant Windsor. Because I have friends in that building. You know, what do? You get kind of, wow, the World Trade Building. I don't know if I got friends in it or not. But I had a lot of fans who were always emailing me or sending me things, and when Discovery Channel aired, I had a lot of people from the Pentagon, NASA, and other folks write me, and I got all their emails, and I got them all printed out. But anyway, I should shut up, I suppose. I'm going on and on and on, but again, it's good to be critical and observant, because really you don't know who I am. You just sort of saw something on the internet, I'm sure. That's the problem with a lot of these folks that are negative. They haven't done their homework. Of course, I'm not out there to teach everybody about what I did, so I try and help out a little bit anyway. So that's the last of the samples. I made a lot of money on eBay, and I did bulk sales too. Like, I would get contacted by somebody who wants to buy a lot and make a deal, like I did with a friend in Scotland who I worked out a trade deal. I was after Oerlikon cannon parts and found a place in England, but they would not ship them, and they only would sell them to English people, or in England. It was Simon of Leithfield, Navy surplus. So the friend in Scotland, he was got right down there and made a deal with Simon. Got everything for scrap price. It was 800 kilos. I sent Matt a video or a picture of what he got for me, and I bought him for that plus shipping, plus the trade. A huge box of samples that were going off to England. And what else? Bulk buyer down in California bought a huge amount, a whole box full of them, like maybe 100. And many other folks. And I make YouTube videos on these samples. I sold them. Some of them do. Some of them wanted no publicity. So no problem. I sent one big sample, huge sample. It was a split brass bar to one of my favorite fans, Prince Hans Adam Liechtenstein of Liechtenstein. He's been writing me letters since 1989 up to a couple of years ago. And I got to meet his cousin, Prince Alfred von Liechtenstein, with Ken Shoulders and Henry Dakin and Gassa and others. So the Prince, I sent him a massive sample. It was a huge amount to send it. He wrote back he's putting him in his private art collection. That's where one sample I know went to. Can't forget that. Then some others went off to like Steven Seagal, Dennis Weaver, who gave me an award for original presentation on a device I made. So that's some of the recent, not recent, but old history. So the iron block, have no idea. I could have, and the one I want back, or try and get it back or find it, is more important than that, is the one where Alex Pizarro's thumbprints are in it. It was a test run. His wife made us dinner and brought it over, and we were waiting around for something to happen, and something started moving. Alex Pizarro walked into the field area and put his hand down and grabbed, he said it's soft and cold. He started laughing. He always put his hand over his mouth and start laughing. I don't know why he didn't even take it. You think he would, but it was we're doing something for an incoming group of scientists or something for a demonstration. I think maybe the Canadian government people, I forget. But that sat around for a while, and I said, well, that's interesting. And then, what do I do with these things? I always put them in a barrel. And, well, I don't know. I can't use it for anything. So, over time, that was included in a shipment somewhere. I don't think I gave it away because eBay sales were pretty intensive. I made a lot of money through selling these things over many years. So you look up my feedback on eBay. John Kenneth Hutchison is my eBay username. You see that people were quite happy with what they got or what I bought from them too. So anyway, I should get going and shut up this long talk radio again. I tend to wonder, of course, but that's crazy me, right? So you probably see these videos, my video channel, and see me cross-dressing, which is okay. Doesn't bother me. I think it's quite nice, actually. Or act silly, or do stupid things, or do serious things. It's just the way I am, sorry. I'm just a little human being on a little insignificant planet called Earth in the galaxy, in the galactic group. And on that note, I should shut my mouth and do something. I'll put this fellow away again. One last look. Yeah, it's lifted up there. I should turn it around, I suppose. Beautiful old firearms. I got original sharps too. The other side is where's the other side on it? Looks okay. I suppose you need to x-ray something like this. Yeah. Well, it's okay. That side. So if you're a metallurgist, let me know what you think of this issue and if there's a way to repair it. Although I'd be disturbing a piece of history, wouldn't I? Yeah. I checked the inside, it's okay. Spencer Carbide. So, that's concerning. Plus the other concerning thing is the link I sent you to the news story of the effects going into people's homes and dissolving their ornaments. Whatever she meant by dissolving. Maybe it's just sort of like the iron block, I guess. Which has happened a number of times. But anyway, I'm going to shut up and go now. Okay, thank you.